Great to have you with us on this Saturday night. I'm Nick McGurk. We have a big week ahead in politics. The 117th session of Congress, well, it convenes starting tomorrow. New members of the House and Senate will be sworn in under unusual circumstances given the pandemic, with a lot more social distancing than normal and fewer family members. There's some big news, being the rejection of the Electoral College results from a growing number of GOP lawmakers. That's certainly expected. Based on what we've heard, they're going to object to the state tallies. Results, by the way, are slated to be certified on January 6th. Now, Senator Mitt Romney says to reject the presidential election results is, quote, nonsense. Romney releasing a statement this evening in response to several Republican senators who say they plan to oppose the certification of those election results. ABC4's Jordan Burroughs joining us now to break it all down. Hi, Jordan.
Hey, Nick, so far we know 11 Republican senators, including some soon-to-be senators, will deny the certification process for the presidential election results. So come Wednesday, that's when the joint session is in. That's when they vote on who will actually become the president and vice president of the United States. Let the politicking begin. I spoke with Tim Chambliss over at the University of Utah. He's a poli-sci professor there. He says this move is unprecedented and calls it all an act. We know that this 11 Republican-led group is led by Republican Ted Cruz, and Cruz has called these allegations of fraud and irregularities in the 2020 election, for which they provided no evidence and which have been rejected repeatedly by courts around the country. And this also, from Cruz, these allegations that he cited, has also been rejected by the Department of Justice. Republicans control the House and Democrats control the Senate. And we know with those electoral votes, Biden won more than 70 over current President Donald Trump. Locally, Burgess Owens told ABC4 News he, quote, intends to vote no on states with practices in question. I reached out to Senator Mike Lee along with Congressman John Curtis and Robert Bishop. However, I did not hear back. Romney, like you mentioned, Nick, released a lengthy statement that reads in part, quote, the egregious ploy to reject electors may enhance the political ambition of some, but dangerously threatens our democratic republic. The congressional power to reject electors is reserved for the most extreme and unusual circumstances. These are far from it. More Americans participated in this election than ever before, and they made their choice. President Trump's lawyers made their case before scores of courts. In every instance, they failed. The Justice Department found no evidence of irregularity sufficient to overturn the election, end quote. That statement goes on, and we do have that full statement on our website, abc4.com. Also, as I mentioned, I spoke to Tim Chambliss today, who said this is a great learning experience for our country. He adds for lawmakers to reject the presidential election results is almost unheard of, but it has happened a couple of times on a smaller scale throughout our nation's history.
This is a tremendous civics lesson. If I had to predict, I would predict that this is going to hurt the Republican Party. It's going to hurt the Republican Party because it is deviating from its tradition of respecting the U.S. Constitution as the basis for U.S. law and respecting states' rights.
We know Washington will be busy this week because starting tomorrow, the 116th Senate will convene for the first time, and so will the 117th House. At 1 p.m. on Wednesday, that's when the House and the Senate will convene in that joint session to count those electoral votes to see who becomes the next president and vice president of the United States. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, I'm Jordan Burroughs, ABC4 News.